swollen legs, aching joints, and stiffness that just won't go away. Most seniors blame age or arthritis. But what if the real culprit was hiding in your gut? Emerging science now shows a surprising connection between poor gut health and chronic inflammation in the limbs. And the worst part? You might be feeding the problem without knowing it. The good news? You can turn it around faster than you think. Let's break it down. It usually starts subtly. Your legs feel a little heavier, your ankles puff up by evening, or your joints just don't bend the way they used to. You chalk it up to age, maybe arthritis, or too much salt at dinner. But more and more research is pointing to something deeper, something far less obvious. The problem might actually begin in your gut. You see, your digestive system does far more than break down food. It's home to trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and other tiny organisms that make up your gut microbiome. And this microbial ecosystem is anything but passive. It plays a key role in how your immune system works, how your body responds to inflammation, and even how much fluid your tissues hold on to. Now here's the part that surprises most people. When your gut is out of balance, meaning the bad bacteria have outnumbered the good, it can trigger a state of low-grade inflammation throughout your entire body. This kind of inflammation doesn't cause obvious symptoms at first, but over time, it starts to chip away at your well-being in ways you can feel, especially in your joints and lower limbs. Let's take swelling in your legs. It's often caused by fluid retention, which can be aggravated by poor circulation. Yes, but also by inflammation that makes blood vessels leakier. And where does that inflammation often start? In the gut. Studies have shown that people with compromised gut health tend to have higher levels of inflammatory markers in their blood, including CRP and interleukin-6, both of which are linked to joint pain and edema. And here's the kicker. Many seniors unknowingly harm their gut every single day. Through overly processed foods, frequent use of NSAIDs or antacids, low fiber intake, and even emotional stress. Over time, this damages the lining of the gut, making it leaky. That means toxins and partially digested food particles can escape into the bloodstream, triggering the immune system to go into overdrive. The result? Achy joints, puffy ankles, unpredictable bowel habits, and a general feeling of inflammation that just won't go away. This might sound alarming, but here's the hopeful truth. Your gut has an incredible ability to heal, at any age. And when you fix your gut, you often fix far more than digestion. You can reduce systemic inflammation, you can ease chronic swelling, and you can start to feel like yourself again, not stiff, not sluggish, not constantly inflamed. So what exactly is triggering this chain reaction inside your gut? And what can you start doing today to reverse it? That's what we'll explore next. It's easy to blame aging for joint stiffness or swelling, but sometimes the real villain is sitting right on your plate, disguised as something totally harmless. In fact, some of the most common foods seniors eat every day are quietly damaging their gut lining, disrupting the microbiome, and sending inflammation straight into their joints. Let's start with one of the biggest offenders, refined carbohydrates. Think white bread, crackers, pastries, breakfast cereals. These foods break down quickly into sugar, feeding not only your blood glucose, but also the inflammatory bacteria living in your gut. When these bad microbes thrive, they overpower the good ones, creating an imbalance known as dysbiosis. And dysbiosis is a known trigger for inflammation that spreads well beyond your digestive tract, often landing in your knees, ankles, and fingers. Next, consider something that's almost always in the senior pantry: artificial sweeteners. You might think switching from sugar to low-calorie sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or saccharin is a smart move. But recent studies show these chemicals can disrupt gut bacteria, increase insulin resistance, and spike inflammation, especially when consumed daily. And inflammation doesn't just stay in the gut, it migrates, often attacking the joints, soft tissues, and even your blood vessels. But the surprises don't end there. Cooking oils that have become household staples, like corn, soybean, and sunflower oil, are high in omega-6 fatty acids. While omega-6 isn't inherently bad, our modern diets often overload it without enough omega-3s to balance the effect. The result? a chronic inflammatory state that starts in the gut and shows up as swelling, tenderness, or stiffness. And if you've ever relied on packaged soups, frozen dinners, or canned meals for convenience, there's another hidden danger: excess sodium and chemical preservatives. These ultra-processed foods not only harm your cardiovascular system, they also increase water retention, making the body swell. But behind the scenes, they also disrupt the balance of good bacteria in the gut, increasing intestinal permeability, also known as leaky gut. That means more toxins slipping into your bloodstream, more immune overreaction, and more inflammation where it hurts the most. Even seemingly healthy foods can sometimes trigger issues. Take dairy. For those with lactose intolerance or mild dairy sensitivity, which becomes more common with age, milk, cheese, and cream can inflame the gut lining and trigger systemic responses. This doesn't mean you have to eliminate dairy entirely, but it does mean you should listen to your body. If you often feel bloated, sluggish, or stiff after dairy, your gut may be telling you something. The problem isn't just one food. It's the slow, silent accumulation of these triggers over weeks, months, even years. And because inflammation is subtle at first, it often goes unnoticed, until symptoms like joint stiffness, water retention, or digestive discomfort finally break through. But here's the empowering part. Just as poor food choices can harm your gut, the right ones can heal it. You don't have to make massive changes overnight. Just start removing the worst offenders and replacing them with foods that nourish the gut, reduce inflammation, and restore balance. So, what should you eat instead? What are the best gut-healing foods for seniors dealing with chronic inflammation? That's what we'll cover next. When your joints ache and your legs feel heavy, it's tempting to reach for a pill. But what if the real solution was on your plate? The truth is, food isn't just fuel, it's information. And the right foods can tell your body to stop inflaming your joints, repair your gut, and start restoring balance. Let's start with one of the most powerful gut healers: fermented foods. These include yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and miso. Why are they so important? Because they're packed with probiotics, live beneficial bacteria that help rebuild a healthy microbiome. For seniors, especially those who've taken antibiotics, had digestive issues, or eaten a highly processed diet, restoring that balance is key. Adding a small serving of fermented foods each day can dramatically improve gut resilience and lower inflammation markers throughout the body. Next up, fiber. Not just any fiber, prebiotic fiber, which acts like fertilizer for the good bacteria in your gut. You'll find it in foods like garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, and bananas. When these fibers ferment in the gut, they produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. And here's the magic. Butyrate directly strengthens the gut lining, reduces leaky gut, and calms systemic inflammation. That means less swelling in your legs, better joint function, and more stable blood sugar. Colorful fruits and vegetables are another game changer. Think blueberries, spinach, red cabbage, carrots, and beets. These foods are rich in polyphenols, plant compounds that feed beneficial bacteria and have powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Blueberries in particular have been studied for their ability to improve gut barrier function and reduce CRP levels, a key marker of inflammation. Then there's omega-3 rich foods, one of the most underrated tools for joint and gut health. Wild-caught salmon, sardines, flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts are excellent sources. Omega-3s don't just fight inflammation, they also support the diversity of your gut microbiome. A more diverse microbiome means a more resilient immune system and fewer flare-ups of pain or swelling. Let's not forget bone broth. It may sound old-fashioned, but there's real science behind it. Bone broth contains collagen, gelatin, and amino acids like glutamine, all of which help heal the lining of the gut. For seniors dealing with digestive upset and chronic joint pain, sipping a warm cup of bone broth can be both soothing and therapeutic. And finally, turmeric. This golden spice contains curcumin, a compound with strong anti-inflammatory effects. When paired with black pepper for better absorption, turmeric can help reduce gut inflammation and improve joint flexibility. You can sprinkle it into soups, stews, or even make a soothing golden milk tea before bed. These aren't exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. They're simple, accessible, and powerful. And when used consistently, they don't just help your gut, they support your entire body. Because a well-fed gut leads to a calm immune system. And a calm immune system means less swelling, less pain, and a life with more energy and ease. But how exactly do these foods work together inside your gut? And what's the best way to structure your meals so that you're getting the right gut-healing nutrients all day long? That's what we'll uncover next. Knowing what to eat is one thing, but turning that knowledge into a simple, sustainable daily routine? That's where the real transformation begins. Especially for seniors, meal planning isn't just about nutrients. It's about energy, digestion, and keeping inflammation in check without overcomplicating life. Let's start with the morning. Most older adults skip breakfast or settle for toast and coffee. But this is actually one of the best opportunities to feed your gut the nutrients it needs to fight inflammation all day long. Instead of empty carbs, try a protein-rich breakfast with gut-friendly fiber. Think Greek yogurt with chia seeds and blueberries. Or scrambled eggs with sautéed spinach and a slice of avocado. These meals deliver probiotics, prebiotic fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats. Exactly what your gut needs to stay balanced and calm. By mid-morning, it's common to feel a bit sluggish. This is where hydration and movement matter. But food plays a role too. A small handful of walnuts or a banana with almond butter can keep your blood sugar stable and provide fiber and omega-3s. It's not about eating more. It's about eating smarter. Now lunch is your chance to load up on vegetables, fiber, and lean protein. A large salad with mixed greens, grilled chicken or salmon, olive oil, and fermented veggies like sauerkraut checks all the boxes. Or go for a hearty bowl of lentil soup with a slice of whole-grain sourdough. The goal here isn't to be perfect. It's to include something colorful, something fibrous, and something alive at each meal. When your gut is fed properly, your inflammation naturally stays low. Dinner should be grounding but light. Many seniors eat their largest meal late in the evening, which can strain digestion and affect sleep. Instead, try roasted sweet potatoes, steamed broccoli, and a piece of baked cod or tofu with turmeric and ginger. Add a small serving of fermented pickles or miso soup, and you've got a gut-friendly anti-inflammatory plate that won't leave you feeling heavy. Now, here's where most people drop the ball: the evening window before bed. That 7 to 9 hour fast while you sleep is when your body becomes catabolic. To prevent overnight muscle loss and maintain gut health, a light protein-rich snack can make a world of difference. A half cup of low-fat cottage cheese, a scoop of casein protein and almond milk, or even a few slices of turkey with avocado. These options help regulate nighttime inflammation and keep your digestive system supported. And remember, your gut isn't just affected by what you eat, it's affected by how you eat. Slow down, chew thoroughly, avoid eating while stressed or distracted. These small shifts help your gut absorb nutrients more efficiently and reduce digestive strain. This isn't a diet. It's a longevity blueprint, crafted to reduce inflammation, protect your joints, and rebuild your gut from the inside out. And it works best when done consistently, not perfectly. You don't need superfoods or fancy powders. You just need whole foods, simple meals, and a few smart choices repeated daily. But even the best meal plan won't work if your gut lining is already compromised. So how do you know if your gut needs repair? And what are the signs that your body is already inflamed and leaking toxins into your bloodstream? That's what we'll uncover next. Your gut is supposed to be your body's gatekeeper. It decides what gets in and what stays out. But what happens when that gate becomes loose? When the barrier between your digestive system and your bloodstream starts to break down? That's what doctors call leaky gut. And for many seniors, it's the hidden culprit behind chronic joint pain, swelling, fatigue, and even brain fog. The medical term is increased intestinal permeability. It means the protective lining in your intestines, made of tightly packed cells, isn't so tight anymore. Tiny gaps open up. And when that happens, undigested food particles, toxins, and bacteria can slip through into your bloodstream. The immune system sees these invaders and does exactly what it's designed to do. It fights back. But that fight isn't always clean. It's loud, messy, and full of inflammation. So how do you know if your gut is leaking? The first signs are often vague. You might feel bloated after meals, even when you didn't overeat. You might notice your energy crashes mid-afternoon, or that your joints are stiff for no clear reason. Some people experience new food sensitivities they never had before. Others get skin flare-ups, like rashes, rosacea, or eczema. But one of the most overlooked signs? Chronic inflammation in the lower body. Puffy ankles, tender knees, tight calves, or aching feet that don't respond to typical treatment. Even more frustrating, these symptoms often show up far from the gut. That's because once the immune system gets activated by leaky gut, the inflammation travels. And in older adults, it often lands in the joints, the connective tissue, and the brain. Here's the good news. Leaky gut isn't permanent. It's a warning light, not a death sentence. And your body is designed to heal, if you give it the right tools. The first step? Remove the irritants. That means cutting back on sugar, alcohol, ultra-processed foods, and anything that triggers your symptoms. For some people, that includes gluten or poorly tolerated dairy. The second step is repair. Your gut lining needs specific nutrients to rebuild. Zinc, glutamine, collagen, omega-3s, and vitamins A and D all play a role. You can get many of these from food, like bone broth, wild salmon, leafy greens, and pumpkin seeds. But for seniors with compromised digestion, supplements can sometimes be helpful under the guidance of a healthcare professional. The third step is reseed and rebalance. This is where probiotics and fermented foods come in. Think of it like replanting a damaged garden. You've cleared the weeds, repaired the soil, and now it's time to bring back the good bugs, so they can crowd out the bad ones and keep inflammation low. Lastly, give your gut time. Healing takes consistency. You won't notice change overnight, but within weeks, you may feel lighter, less puffy, more mobile, and more energetic. Your body will tell you it's healing. You just have to learn to listen. But there's one more crucial part we haven't talked about yet. The connection between your gut, your mood, and your brain. Because what's happening in your digestive system might be affecting how you think, how you feel, and even your risk of cognitive decline. And that's exactly where we're headed next. What if your forgetfulness had nothing to do with age? What if your mood swings, foggy thinking, and low energy were actually coming from your gut? It might sound strange at first, but the science is clear. Your gut and your brain are in constant conversation, connected by a powerful communication highway called the gut-brain axis. And when your gut is inflamed, your brain feels it. Not figuratively, literally. Here's how it works. Your digestive tract contains over 100 million neurons. Yes, brain-like cells, earning it the nickname, the second brain. This system sends messages to your real brain through nerves, hormones, and most notably, the vagus nerve. When your gut is healthy, those messages help regulate mood, memory, and even your sleep. But when your gut is inflamed, those messages change. They become distorted, confused, or inflammatory. And that's when problems start. You might feel more anxious or down for no apparent reason. You might forget things you used to remember easily. You might have trouble concentrating, lose your motivation, or feel emotionally flat. These are not just emotional or cognitive changes. They're often biological symptoms of gut imbalance. One of the biggest triggers is leaky gut. As we discussed earlier, when the gut lining breaks down, harmful compounds like lipopolysaccharides, LPS, escape into the bloodstream. The body treats them like invaders, launching an inflammatory attack. But here's the part many people don't realize. That same inflammation can cross the blood-brain barrier. And when it does, it leads to neuroinflammation, chronic low-grade inflammation inside the brain. Studies have linked this process to depression, anxiety, and even early signs of cognitive decline. Seniors with poor gut health are significantly more likely to experience memory problems, brain fog, and mood instability. Not because of age alone, but because of the inflammatory cascade started in the gut. But here's the hopeful part. The gut-brain connection works both ways. When you improve your gut health, your brain benefits too. Probiotic-rich foods like kefir, sauerkraut, and yogurt don't just help digestion. They've been shown to support serotonin production, a key neurotransmitter for happiness and calm. Omega-3s reduce gut and brain inflammation at the same time, and short-chain fatty acids produced by fermenting fiber in the colon, they actually help protect the brain from cognitive decline. Even your sleep improves. When inflammation goes down, melatonin cycles become more stable, and deeper sleep supports memory consolidation and emotional resilience. This means something remarkable. By taking care of your gut, removing the harmful foods, adding in healing nutrients, and supporting your microbiome, you're not just reducing joint pain or swelling. You're protecting your mind. You're building a more stable mood. You're defending your independence, your identity, and your clarity, one meal at a time. So now that we've laid out the science, the symptoms, and the foods that heal, how do you bring it all together into something you can actually stick with? That's what we'll tackle in the final section. Most people think the work of healing happens during the day, when you're eating better, moving more, or taking your vitamins. But the truth is, the real healing begins at night. Because your gut, your joints, and your brain all do their deepest repair work while you sleep. And that makes your nightly routine one of the most powerful tools you have for reducing inflammation, rebalancing your gut, and aging with strength and clarity. Let's keep it simple. Start by closing your kitchen at least 2 hours before bed. This gives your digestive system time to finish its work before you sleep. Late-night snacking, especially on sugary or starchy foods, can fuel gut bacteria in all the wrong ways, spike inflammation, and interfere with sleep hormones like melatonin. Next, give your gut a gentle signal to repair. One of the most effective ways to do this? A warm, protein-rich, anti-inflammatory drink about 30-60 minutes before bedtime. Something like unsweetened almond milk blended with a scoop of casein protein, a dash of turmeric, and a pinch of cinnamon. Why casein? Because it digests slowly and provides your body with a steady drip of amino acids all night long, helping protect your muscle mass and reduce overnight gut stress. If you prefer food to shakes, try a half cup of cottage cheese with ground flax seeds, or a small bowl of warm bone broth with a sprinkle of ginger. These aren't just comforting, they're strategically powerful. They support your gut lining, calm the immune system, and create the ideal conditions for rest and recovery. Now here's a secret few people talk about. Your gut has its own circadian rhythm, a biological clock that controls digestion, immune response, and microbiome activity. When your nighttime habits are consistent, that rhythm stays in sync. But when you eat at different times, scroll your phone in bed, or go to sleep stressed, that rhythm falls apart. The result? More inflammation, more cravings, less healing. That's why the final piece of your nightly routine isn't food, it's calm. Dim the lights an hour before bed. Turn off bright screens. Listen to soft music or take a warm shower. Breathe deeply. Read something light, or practice gratitude. These tiny habits activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for rest and digest. And when that system is active, your gut gets the green light to heal. Do this every night for a week, and you'll feel the difference. Do it for a month, and your swelling may start to fade. Do it for a year, and you might find yourself walking with more strength, thinking with more clarity, and waking up each day with the quiet confidence that you're not just getting older, you're getting better. Because healing isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right few things, at the right time, with consistency. And in the battle against inflammation, gut damage, and premature aging, your nightly routine isn't just helpful, it's everything.